And I'm Zona.
And we're the Chatterbox Chicks.
Max.
Today's the day.
Royals!
Zona has been looking forward to this Chatterbox Chicks talk for a long time.
Harry and Meghan. Famous interview. Well, it will be famous. With Oprah. Who watched it? Comment.
Yes, please comment if you
Yes.
watched it.
What did you think? Royals interview.
Oh my gosh. Do you want me to tell you what I thought, or do you want to
Yeah,
go
let's
first?
just do what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go down some of the major points that we thought were made in their interview. But let's real quick give it overall what
I think
each
you
other
should
thought.
say first what you think.
Okay.
Go for it, girl.
I felt, well, there's always two sides to every story, but I felt like what they said was very valid. Like the things that they were saying, I don't personally think you could just make up as far as the racism. Who would just make that up? The racism comment, the whole how it's an institution, the actual royal family and how they feel trapped, and just how she was treated in general.
Okay.
I just think that, I know there's two sides to every story, but I tend to believe more so what they're saying than maybe what the naysayers aren't. Like, I truly believe that, I really do feel like what they said was spot on. Even though I don't know for sure. Nobody does, right?
Right.
Oh, you're giving me that look. Let me know what you think.
Okay, I'm going to tell you what I think right now.
Uh-oh.
What I think is I think this was a wonderful publicity stunt
Okay.
for their business. Because they specifically talked about their $1 million business that
Okay.
they're now doing in the U.S. And what better way to start having followers than to have drama in the UK to get these people to follow them.
Okay.
Because you know Americans, we all like drama.
Oh, we love it.
I
Gossip.
watch housewife shows just for that reason,
Yes.
for the drama.
Yes.
So that is what I think.
So that's what you think.
Yes. Okay. One thing that I found was kind of funny, I got to tell you.
Tell me.
Is when they said that, did you let them know that you were leaving, or you just up and left or whatever?
Right.
And they're like, while we talked to them on the phone, and I'm like, oh, so is this ready to go? Ding-a-ling-ling.
Hello?
Oh, hello? Is this the Queen?
Yes, it is.
I just want to tell you that we are now leaving the royal family.
What do you mean? You're just up and leaving. Don't you want to spot a tea first?
No, we're done. We do not feel protected. We do not feel validated. We have gone to America. Just wanted to let you know now. Goodbye. I mean, come on. Seriously?
I
Sorry.
don't agree with that.
That is
I
not
think
a conversation.
I think that there were discussions had
On the phone.
on the phone. I think even in person, because even in the interview, they said that they had let close family members know how they were feeling, but it doesn't matter because you have to keep up this pretense as royals, even though they're royals and they're supposed to rule everything. Really, in this day and age, the media rules.
One thing that was said that I thought was kind of funny is that Meghan kept talking about how she felt trapped.
Right?
Now, I don't know about you guys, but if you feel trapped in a palace with lots of servants waiting on you, if you feel trapped with people massaging you and bringing you meals, if you feel trapped and basically asking and getting everything your little heart's desire, you got problems.
I disagree with that because just because they're in a palace and they're a queen and king and prince and princesses. I'm sorry.
Zona. Do you think you would feel trapped in a freaking palace?
But it's a different
It's
context.
a palace.
Okay, so they get what they want.
It's
They're rich. I get it.
huge.
No, I get. First of all, what they didn't live in the palace. The queen lives in the palace.
No, they said they were in the palace.
They were in the palace, but they each, even William and Kate, have their own. They don't live in the palace. They each have their own.
Yes, but okay, are you going to tell me that they don't live in a house that has many servants?
No, I don't disagree with that. They're rich. They are loved by millions.
Check out the clothes.
They get clothes. They get cars. They get.
They have their own makeup team.
Yeah, they are privileged. Okay, I agree with that. Okay. However, that doesn't negate the fact that they have to be on all the time for public appearances and things like that, and their duties as royals, which they do have.
That is your job.
It is their job, but with that job comes extreme scrutiny and other things. And maybe she is not the type of person to handle that, regardless of the makeup, the luxury surroundings and living and all the money. Some people maybe aren't made for that. I believe that royals, when they are born, they are prepped. They are prepped their whole life. It's not even an option. Just like in the interview, Harry said, that's all he knew. You're born into the royals. This is protocol. Now,
you do know that he would still be there if it wasn't for her, right?
Well, he'd have to be there. Yeah.
The only reason that he's gone is because of her. Excuse me. The only reason he is gone.
Oh, totally. Right? I don't disagree with that. I'm just saying that I feel like there is a whole underground of shit that goes on there.
But how does that make you feel, knowing that he would still be there if it wasn't for her? Do you see what I'm saying? Do you see how that goes?
Well, but it can go both ways. For me, it proves how much they love each other. Just like was it the Queen?
You don't think there'll be some resentment later on in life? You literally are brought up in this thing of privilege, right?
Right.
You've had servants waited on you.
Right.
You've never even had to probably wash yourself.
In 2021, they're having someone wash them?
Well, I mean, did you watch Coming to America too?
I can't. I literally can't. That is a movie.
I mean, they have butt
By the
wipers.
way, that was a fun movie.
They have butt wipers.
Okay.
You literally have all these things, right? And then you find a woman who is not royalty. She's an actress from America, correct? She's from America, right?
Yep, she's from America. She's an actress.
And she doesn't fit in with your family, right? Because this is basically what it comes down to. She didn't fit in with the family. How many of you guys know? You're right. How many of you have tried to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend
and they didn't click with your family?
And they just didn't click. They just did not see eye to eye. Whatever it was, they didn't fit in.
Right.
So then, if you think about it, she made him leave his family.
Wait a minute. You can't make someone do something they don't want to do.
You can. You absolutely can.
How?
All she would have to say is that I'm leaving this family. If you don't come with me, it's over.
Okay, but
that's still making.
No, because he's still. Because if someone
all I know is that if I was her, and I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that because I am basically. There would be resentment. There has to be. There's going to be resentment.
I'm not saying there won't be resentment. I'm saying based on the interview, what I heard, I believe happened. Maybe there's some variance, in some of the things said, but overall, I truly believe that people have this grand idea of what it is to be a royal and so luxurious. And yes, they do have a job. They do have a job. Their job is to charities, to being in the public eye, visiting different countries, doing the royal tour. I get all that. But that does not mean that shit does not go down there.
I'm not saying that, but I'm saying you know what you're getting yourself into.
Right.
You're telling me she didn't research this. She didn't know what she was getting into.
Right.
So you know what you're getting yourself into. So you can make a decision. What she should have done is, if she realized she didn't want to do it, she should never have gone into it in the first place.
Okay.
That would have been a lot
So then what do you
easier.
do when you love someone? What do you do when you both love each other so much and you're willing to try that because of love? You saying that doesn't exist?
I'm saying that obviously love exists or whatever, but
Yes.
I mean, you sit there and you make sacrifices for a person. I get
Yes.
what you're saying,
Yeah,
but then
yeah.
you actually have to do it. How
Right.
long did she do this for?
I don't know how long they've been married.
I
Not
don't
very
think
long.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
This
Okay,
wasn't
okay, but if you're
let's give it the old college try.
Okay, but if you look at the things that were said in the interview, when she was, so depressed that she's ready to take her own life, and she went through because I guess you have to go through certain channels to get, help rather than, just like a normal person. I guess they have the royal channels you have to go through to if you things that you need or you're having issues. And I guess her point is the issues she was having.
I don't believe that.
She assumed that they would back her up.
I do not believe. She said, okay, so for those that didn't watch it, in the interview, she said that she was so depressed that she was going to take her own life.
Yes.
And that she had to go to this public thing with him. If she didn't go with him, she would not be here.
Right.
She said, right?
She had told him that if I don't go, she doesn't know. She said, I'm not sure what I will do to myself.
I do not believe that at all. I don't believe it. I don't believe that. I don't believe it was that bad. I really don't. I think I'm sorry that I keep saying this, and Megan, I don't know you personally, but I really feel that a lot of things that were said for drama for their followers.
Okay. I would agree maybe some of those things, but overall from the interview, I took it as truly a cry for help. Truly. And no matter, you have your opinion, I have my opinion.
Absolutely.
The only thing that I would say negative about it is if I was about to marry a royal prince somewhere, I would definitely look into, like you said, what is it? What entails being a princess? She could have asked him, before they even got married, like, okay, if we get married, what's my job? What's going on? What do I gotta do?
I'm gonna interrupt you for a minute. One thing she said in the interview that I thought was hilarious is she's like, I didn't even know how to curtsy. Come on, Zona. You and I know how to flip and curtsy. How do you not know how to curtsy?
Wait a minute. Well, we know how to curtsy based on what we see on TV. But is there a certain way?
No,
I
know how to curtsy as a ballerina. I don't know if you know, but I used to be a ballerina.
No, I know you told me, but okay. But you can't tell me if you were about to meet the queen of a country that you wouldn't be nervous as a whore in church, because you would. I would be nervous.
I would be nervous about meeting the queen,
but
I would not say that I don't know how to curtsy.
Okay, but the fact is that when other royal members of the house come out of the physical building to say, do you know how to curtsy? That would not make you go, oh, maybe I don't know how.
If an Asian person walked through the door today, if an Asian man walked through the door today, I would know how to bow and look eye. Would you know how to bow and look eye?
What is look eye? The fuck? Bow and look eye?
Yeah, bow and look eye.
Look high or look eye?
Look eye.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't know you had to look him in the eye.
Yeah.
So what do you bow and keep looking in the eye?
Yes, that's what they say in the
I would have not
Karate
known
Kid. Mr. Miyagi always says, "Look eye, Danielson. Look
Cobra
eye.
Kai. Cobra Kai.
Look eye, Danielson. Look eye. Yes,
Okay.
look eye."
I've watched that movie once in my life.
I just want to tell you something, that I am not trying to sound like I am racist, because I am not racist at all. I am just repeating what was in the Karate Kid movie. And I think I do a very good Moriaka impression. If I
Comment.
don't do a good Pat
Comment.
Mariaka impression, please comment and I'll work on it for you and I'll try again another day. My point is,
this whole episode's going downhill fast.
no, I'm telling you that if we know how to bow and look eye, you know how to curtsy.
But you're assuming everyone knows how to bow and look eye. You're assuming everyone knows how to curtsy. I mean,
I'm saying that if you know Zona, if you are going to marry into a royal
of course
family,
you would investigate.
you are going to know how to curtsy, and you're not going to need to sit there and practice.
No, I would think that. I know that. But the fact
you don't think that was made up just to show us?
I don't know.
I mean, seriously, you don't think that was made up just to show us?
You're not understanding what I'm saying. I'm not saying that bit, it sounds crazy. I'm saying the general interview as a whole, I believe a lot of those points happened. I'm not saying that you wouldn't research before you get married to her. It's stupid. How would you not? I mean, I would be like, ooh, I would want to research. I'm not saying some of that stuff is a little wonky to me.
That's what I'm trying to say. So you take it all together and you realize that this is a little bit far-fetched.
Okay, see, and I do it differently. I take some of those things and I'm like, oh, I have a hard time believing that. But then I don't have a hard time, believing the organization of it, that how the royals feel trapped.
I'm sure there's an organization. I'm not going to go trap because, like I said, rich people problems. I mean, come on, seriously, okay? But I will.
Grass is not always greener on the other side. It's not. Whether they're wiping your ass or brushing your teeth.
Stick me in a palace, I will have a glorious time.
Okay. So tell me what you thought about the death wishes and security and titles. So, like the death wish.
Okay.
Those are real.
I will tell you, well, how do you know those are real?
Every celebrity, and I'm positive every celebrity, anybody has gotten a death wish.
I'm definitely, no, not a death wish. It's not death wish. It's a death threat.
You have death wish on here.
See, I didn't.
She wrote it.
I did write death wish, but it's not supposed to be.
Okay, a death threat.
I wish that you were dead. No.
Oh, I'm sure they have some of those too.
No, I'm saying they're death threats.
Okay.
And yes, you're right. Celebrities absolutely
all the time, or like crazy people that are like obsessed.
That's exactly what you just said, Zona.
What?
You just said that all celebrities get death threats.
Yeah.
I'm sure Oprah's got death threats.
But that's not.
How is that any different?
No. But that's
saying that my Ryan Reynolds. I'm sure my Ryan Reynolds.
Stop interrupting me. You're bothering me. So I'm not saying the death threat or wishes or whatever.
No, not wish.
I'm saying that because of his status, and he is basically, a celebrity in it, right?
Yeah, celebrity in England.
That he would need security. He
Oh,
absolutely
no.
would. That part kind of boggled.
Absolutely.
That kind of part boggled my mind that
Yes.
they would just strip that of him because all of a sudden he moved across the pond.
I do not agree with the fact that they lightened the security on them like that.
Right.
And they did say in the interview, Zona, you got to understand, we are telling these people about our viewers about this interview. They might not have seen it.
So go watch it. Watch it.
Wait,
you can get it free on CBS. You can watch it. Or ABC.
That's not how you do a YouTube channel.
Why?
So, listen, shh. Basically, what we're trying to tell you.
Shit's about to go down, people.
This is what we're trying to tell you is that that when they had their first child,
right,
they took they could not promise the baby or the family security anymore.
Right. Which is part of what you get as a royal.
And it's a problem, and I can understand that, because if I'm a rich person or whatever, wait a minute, I just realized something.
Just because you're rich doesn't mean you need security.
Why did they have to provide security for them? If they want security, why don't they provide it for themselves?
They can.
So
That's what they've been doing. They've been providing it for themselves. Their point wasn't that their point was, how could you strip that from me? Even though I've renounced my title, even though I've left on my own accord, okay?
Yeah,
I still am your son. I still am your grandson. That's what they're meaning.
No, but it's probably like this. You know if you didn't want to. You know how parents are. Well, you're not. You know how parents can be. You're not doing what I want you to do. You know what? You're cut off until you decide to change your mind. Parents do things like that all the time to people.
You cannot tell me right now, as a parent who adores her children, that
I don't think his father adores him.
his grandmother does. And even Megan said she had nothing bad to say about the Queen. Stop interrupting me. She had nothing bad to say about the Queen. Megan. She said the Queen is delightful. She's always had great interaction with her. It's the organization.
That was the right thing to say. But listen, let me just tell you something about the Queen. Do you know how old the Queen is?
Oh, she's 100, isn't she?
Yeah, she's like up there with Betty White, right?
Yeah.
She's up there with Betty White. Okay, I love you, Betty White, and I think you're fantastic.
She's funny as hell.
But I'm telling you, you're getting close to 100, or maybe you are 100.
So what does that have to do with anything?
Listen to me. Sometimes you're not all there. So, guess who's in charge right now? The father. What's his name? Charles, okay? Who's his daddy, correct? He's that's daddy, right?
Henry and William are Charles.
I think Charles feels that Harry is not making the best choices. And so he's saying, listen, if you want to go to America, which to them is probably a kick in the teeth, right? If you want to go to America with your wife,
but they're not.
Wait a minute, listen, who isn't from England, right?
Okay, she's from Canada.
No, I'm trying to say is, and I know I'm going back to this whole coming to America thing, but it's the whole thing is that it wasn't an arranged marriage.
No.
She's from America. She's
from Canada.
She's whatever. She's not from England, okay? She's from Canada, which is another country that is not England. Okay. All right. So you marry this woman.
Right.
She's pretty, granted, right? Okay. But she's not who, we would have picked for you as a royal.
Right.
Now, all of a sudden, not all of a sudden, but over time, she's decided she doesn't want to be a royal.
Right.
So she's going to take my son.
Yeah.
And she's going to take him to America.
Okay.
Which.
That's fine.
America is kind of far away from England.
Okay, fine. Get to your point.
Around the corner.
No, it's across the pond.
Well, you know what? If you can, you're a grown man's son. You think you need security? Get your own security.
I think it's different because the fact that they are in the spotlight and they are royals. I understand they renounced it, but if it were me,
you're no longer a royal.
If it were my son, if he was married to the biggest bitch in the world and I hated her and she took him away, if I needed to do something for him like that, I would do it because I love my son and I love my grandson.
But I just got through telling you, you don't have the same relationship with him as Charles.
It still doesn't matter. Even if I didn't like my son, you still, as a human and as a father.
Not if you renounce.
No.
When you renounce.
I don't agree.
Listen,
guys, please comment on this. I'm dying to know what people think.
When you renounce, you're saying, don't want to do this no more. Gonna go do something else.
I get it. I know what renounce is.
Why should you get the same treatment as
William and Kate?
William, who's actually staying there and doing the public appearances and doing all this stuff. That's not fair. What benefit are they getting? Nothing.
Okay, but this isn't tit for tat.
It should be.
It isn't though, because
No,
it's
it
about
is.
safety.
Actually, it is
It's
tit for
about
tat.
safety.
You don't want it to be tit for tat, but it totally is. I don't like that expression, tits for tat.
That's another. We'll do
Are we
expressions
talking
with
about tits
or tats.
or tats? And what is a tit and what is a tat? Okay,
That's another.
listen.
That's
I'm sorry, I squirreled. But this is what I'm saying is, what benefit does it have?
Okay.
Okay, if you are going to say, hey, I don't want to be a I don't want to say no more. That sounds really bad. That's not how I speak.
Sometimes.
I don't want to be a royal anymore.
Okay.
Well, then, to me, what you're saying is, I don't want to be a royal anymore, so I do not need to have the benefits that go along with it. Why should you get the benefits for being a royal if you're not a royal?
But you're acting like you're acting like they're still getting all the benefits. They're not getting allowance anymore. They're not getting paid.
Right, and they're not getting security.
They don't get to live in their house.
Exactly.
Okay.
They don't
but
get
security is security. It's different. So let me give you an example. So let's say you and your son hate each other. No, let me finish. Let's say you and your son hate each other.
Okay, but I need to say something.
You cannot interrupt me.
All right, fine, go ahead.
Let's say you and your son hate each other.
Which will never happen because
she adores her. This is hypothetical.
I don't like your hypothetical.
Okay, so I'll do me. Let's say my son and I hate each other.
Okay.
I mean hate each other.
But you don't hate your son.
No, I don't. And he leaves and I basically wash my hands of him.
Yeah, but this is different.
No. Listen to me.
Okay.
Let's say I wash my hands of him, whatever, okay? But I didn't provide him, and I'm talking about I'm in the same situation. I'm the queen or something like that. Something high profile, okay?
I want to know what you're the queen of.
Everything.
Give me I want to know the name of a country you're queen of.
Finland.
Okay. You're the queen
Even though
of
they don't
Finland.
have queens, and they never have.
But now they do, because she's the queen of it.
And so I hated him. I was disappointed in him. I hated his new wife. They basically left the country just hanging. Like, how could you even do that?
Right.
I see the royal side. I see that side. Like, you fucker, why are you doing that? Okay, but I didn't provide my son security. And let's say some crazy ass, one of those, stalkers kills my whole family. They kill my grandkid and they kill my son. Okay? How would I feel knowing that I could have prevented that by offering them security? Even if only because they were royals, not because, not some general person on the street.
Okay.
I would feel horrible.
I'm going to say two things.
Okay, say
Number one, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go back to what you said. Number one is, I don't think that Charles is the one that has the authority to give them security. I think it's almost like a presidential thing in a way.
It's the institution, they call it. The institution.
So I think that because they gave up their royalty, that's why they don't have security.
The institution is saying.
But I'm going to say something, okay?
Okay, go ahead. I know you're going to say it.
You moved away. You're not a baby anymore, okay? You have money.
Right.
At this point in time, you can have your own security. You buy your own security. And they said it in the interview. Harry said, I used the money for my company to get my family security. Do you see what I'm saying?
No, he said he used the money from, and y'all can correct us if we're wrong or right, from his mother left him $10 million, Lady Diana.
Okay, whatever.
So he has that money.
The point is, he has the money for security.
He absolutely does.
I am sure the institution thought of all of this. Now, if they had left England completely penniless,
right,
and they didn't have a dime, and they didn't offer them security, that's another thing in itself.
I understand. I completely understand your point.
And if they're but what I'm saying is, if you're gonna renounce your title, and then, no offense, go on national television and talk about, because to be honest, this is what they did, talk about how terrible it is to be a royal.
Right.
I never heard anything good. I never heard one thing good in that interview.
Oh,
Nothing.
I did.
All I felt like it was a bash session
right,
over what it's like to be a royal in England. The
right.
only good thing I did hear is the Queen is nice, which I personally think she had to say, because you're not going to say anything bad about your queen, okay? And she would continuously say is, well, I don't really want to say what the reason is because, it doesn't have to do about me.
I don't know.
Okay, so you renounce. So this is how I think England's looking at this.
Okay.
You renounce your title.
Okay.
You don't want to be a royal anymore. You then pick up.
Okay.
And you move to America.
Right.
Okay. You've now said, obviously, I'm not doing anything in England anymore. I'm gone. I took my family. I left. My thing is, I do not feel.
Okay.
If I was an England person, like let's say I'm just a normal villager.
Right.
Is it
You're working at the 7-Eleven in England.
I don't think they have 7-Eleven.
Okay, or the local gas station. You're just a normal...
They don't have... Do they have gas stations? I don't want to be at a gas station in England.
Do they have gas stations? What are the cars run on? Urine?
Okay, I don't want to be that. I'm gonna.
Okay, so you're a banker.
I'm a banker.
You're a banker.
I'm a banker.
You're a lawyer. Whatever.
I'm not,
okay.
whatever.
You're non-royal.
I am not a royal, but I live in England.
Okay.
I don't think that I would want or think that it was okay for two people that were part of the palace and decided to renounce their title to get any kind of benefits at all. I don't think that would be fair.
I agree to that to a certain extent, but I believe in the interview and some of the reports, they technically didn't renounce their throne. They didn't say
you just told me 3 times they did.
They didn't totally renounce it. That's
said what you said 3 times to me today.
That they renounced their throne.
Yeah, you've said that. If you want to watch it back, you'll see.
Okay, well y'all have to check that. What I'm saying is that they left. They said they were taking a step back. Not because in the interview they wanted to continue doing some royal duties.
If you take a step back, you stay in the country.
But they're they're living half in America and half in England.
No, they're not. They're living all in America and they're starting their company.
Well, first of all, they can't live all in America the whole time because they're not U.S. citizens. So technically, they have to go back to their country of origin for a few months in order to stay here.
So they go there on a vacation.
Okay, but what I'm saying is, on the interview, I'm talking about the interview. I'm not making this up. They said they just took a step back and that they wanted to continue doing some of those things that are, important. Like they started like some of their charities and they wanted to continue doing that. But when they took a step back, I guess, and I'm just saying what I heard in the interview.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's right or wrong, or if we believe it or we don't.
Okay.
That the palace took it as we're leaving instead of you know what I'm saying. Instead of them,
I would too.
Well, yeah, I know that, but I'm saying I'm just talking about the interview and what they're saying.
I know.
So it'll be interesting to see what you guys comment on this because it's a clusterfuck. And I know there's 2 sides to every story. There are absolutely.
I would love to hear Kate's side of the story.
Oh, Kate, she would never talk because she is in the institution where she knows what to do. She's got to be a royal. So she would never say anything.
Love it.
And you know what? One thing I want to say is, do you think some of this, Harry's mother obviously was Princess Di.
Yes.
Okay. So do you think because he's younger than his brother William that he harbors some ill will towards the royals on what they did to Princess Di?
Well, first of all, he's younger.
But you know what I'm saying?
So you would think actually that William would.
I don't know. I felt
because wouldn't William know more about... How old were they when she died? Do you know?
I don't know. I mean, Harry was young, but what I'm saying is that doesn't negate that he didn't read the books, Didn't talk to Princess Di's brother, who's still alive.
Well, listen,
and all of those
I do
things.
have a question, though, and I don't know. Obviously, we don't live in England, so we
No,
don't know.
we don't
this.
know.
I wonder how they talk about Princess Diana in the palace.
I don't know.
See, because if they're saying bad things about her, then that could be.
Well, I do know. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember that when she died, that the Queen was not going to attend her funeral because technically they were already divorced, and Charles is the one that cheated on her.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? And so, but that was a huge thing, and she ended up making a statement about how the country's going to miss, because she was very loved, Princess Di. So that could have a part in this too.
Absolutely.
Like, you know, and maybe he thought, I don't want my life and my son and my wife to have to go down this road. So how can we get out of this? Doesn't negate that I think some of these points that we wrote down are true. You think they're all bullshit.
No, I don't think. No, I did not say that.
Okay.
I don't think that they're all BS.
Right. Just like I don't think they're all right.
I don't, but I do think that it's interesting.
Right.
That right before they launch their business, that they come out with this interview.
Right.
Because it's going to be in the forefront of everyone's mind.
Right.
And
it puts them in the forefront, of like, oh, and
There's
people
so
are more
much
eager to
drama.
see. Right. I get
and they
that.
want to hear more.
Right.
And all
But
that.
I guess the whole gist of the interview about, this is what I took away, and then we'll wrap it up. And you can
Yes.
tell me what you took away.
Okay.
What I took away from the interview is that living the palace life isn't as easy as people think, as far as being in the spotlight all the time, never having downtime. I mean, mental issues, I'm sure. And I'm not talking just about Meghan, the rest of the family, just the pressure, the continuous pressure you're under, decision makings. You have to please the people. I know in the interview they said the huge is the press there. They host huge functions at the palace for the press, because they don't want any bad press. So it's like, I wash your back, you wash my back, kind of a thing. But I guess that's what I took away from the interview, is just living in those conditions. I don't think it's as easy as people think, because you and I think, oh my God, I would love to be a princess. I would love to have all that money and clothes and to live in the palace. And I don't think it's as easy as people think. I think there comes a lot of shit with that. All right, what'd you take away?
My takeaway is that I agree with you that I don't think it's easy to live like that, but I do think that it would be fun.
Really?
And I also feel that, once again, I'm going to go and say this again, rich people problems. I mean, I'm sorry. I don't think it's as bad as it was made out to be. Like I said, I think it's interesting that this all came out right before this whole thing launched. I do feel that the fact that if you renounce your title, you're basically saying, I don't need anything anymore. That's what that says.
Well, and technically they don't.
I do think that it was. I also don't think it was nice. If you're supposedly so close with your family, why are you going on national television and bad mouthing your family?
But I don't think they are close.
Excuse me.
Sorry, I'm interrupting.
And I think that I actually think that Meghan messed up, and I think that she said some stuff that I don't think Harry liked. I got that impression.
Oh, did you really?
I was watching the interview. Yes, I did. Of course, we'll never know.
No, we won't know.
It's true, and I think that he may have been thinking with his pants when he married this one.
Ooh.
So I'm just saying, I don't.
His pants or his dick?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I'm just trying to say it nicely.
I'll say it.
I do believe, obviously, there is an organization. There's obviously protocol. There's things to follow, whatever. But like I said from the beginning, you know what you're getting yourself into. I mean, come on. The curtsy thing,
yes, there were some aspects of the interview that were like,
and I get you're on it, but that's your job. That's what you sign up to do. Actors and actresses, they sign up to do in a movie. Well, also, when they sign up to work in a movie, they're also signing up that if they're out with their family, they're going to get hassled by the press.
No, I agree with that.
It's just part of it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
And yes, there are presses out there that do take it to the extreme. And yes, in that case, you definitely need security and stuff.
Yeah.
And no, death threats are not okay. But unfortunately, these things go with the territory. Cops have to deal with it all the time.
It's interesting though that she was an actress, a very a famous.
So you would think,
actress.
would think if you're I never saw her in anything.
She was in that one show, but anyways,
if you're an actress, then you should know what all this entails.
That's one of my interesting thing. That's what interests me too, is that because she does have following and she was popular and she was in the limelight. That what really happened, that it was so difficult.
I feel that when she told her story, she left a lot of it open to suggestion. So you get to put the pieces together to figure out what she's saying. And I don't like that.
But we'll never know, will we?
I don't like that, because that's, to me, is being very dramatic, and it's leaving it up to interpretation. And of course, as Americans or as people, you're going to view it in a bad, what did she mean by that?
Well, I think our kids.
Yeah.
Let's say that something happens with our kids. There's two sides to every story.
There is.
I think there's truth in this, and I think there's not truth in it.
There's three sides to a story. There's what Meghan and Harry said. There's what the Queen will say.
And then there's
truth. There's the middle. Yep. And anyway,
then there's the truth. Because the Queen, we don't know. Yeah, we don't know.
Well, you think it's the truth. That's why I'm saying if there's a middle.
Yeah,
there's always
the middle is
there's
the
one
truth.
Extreme, there's another, and then there's the middle.
Then there's the truth.
Well, that's all the time we have for today. I'm Max.
Are we gonna wait? Are we gonna have another? I think we're done with Harry and Meghan then. Unless there's a breaking story, we'll come back to it.
I'll tell you. So we will keep you informed as this story unfolds.
But please, before we say goodbye, comment.
Please,
I want to know if you watched it, what you thought of it. If you, do you anything about the royals?
Yeah,
I love it. I want to know.
Let me know if you think like the way Zona feels, or if you think like the way I feel,
or if you have a mix.
Or if you totally don't even care.
Yeah, I would say most people probably don't care. These are such trivial problems. Yeah. All right.
I want to give a shout out to Nilcha Anderson.
Yay, Nilcha!
Nilcha, we love your comments. Thank you for telling us about the Leprechaun movies.
Yes.
I appreciate it. Also, want to do a little bit of a fact check. In my last St. Patrick's Day video, we talked about Rumpelstiltskin being a Disney movie. I found out after a little bit of research, Rumpelstiltskin was not a leprechaun. He is a Russian dwarf, I think. Anyway, he has nothing to do with
Disney.
I will say that originally, they were going to get a Rumpelstiltskin.
Oh, so that's probably what was in your mind.
So that was it. But there is a scary movie out there called Leprechaun, which I did not watch. I couldn't get my family to watch.
Did Nilcha say we should watch it?
No, she said it was a scary movie.
Well, you like scary.
Oh,
I don't like scary.
Well, I know she probably knows you don't like scary.
Oh, I don't like scary.
Anyway, I'm Max.
And I'm Zona.
And we're the Chatterbox Chicks. We love you.
Yeah.